Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. We've got an exciting presentation for you today. And the reason why it's so exciting is because you're going to see an opportunity that has never happened before. And we are absolutely disrupting the marketplace. We are taking over some market share from big companies, and with a company that is willing to pay out over 75% of their corporate profits. So this is huge. We're very excited. We work around the clock because we're so excited to build this business. So my name is Kelly Ronsyn, and I have been, a bit of my background, I have been in the corporate sector for over 25 years, primarily in the financial banking sector. And what I have, it was great at the beginning. I went to university. I was nice and young and fresh, and loved, the corporate world. But then as time went on, it started to be more of a grind. And I don't know if anybody can relate to that. But working really long hours as an executive, working on the weekends, flying here, flying there, having a paycheck every 2 weeks, waiting for it, and then being taxed, significantly taxed, and it was becoming harder and harder to go to work every single day. And then I would get maybe 2 weeks holidays, 3 weeks holidays after 20 plus years, and that just was not good enough for me anymore. I wanted more out of my life. And maybe you're at that time in place where you really want a little bit more than just basically surviving, maybe having a little bit, having some assets, having a little bit of time off. I think that people are now moving into the direction of becoming more entrepreneurs, and that's where you're going to see that. And that's what I started. I really left the corporate world. I was fortunate to be packaged out so that I could start my business, and I jumped in full time. Not highly recommended for everybody, but I was in complete burnout. And so I decided, no, this is what I wanted to do and become an entrepreneur. Now, that's also a little bit of a challenge, right? I started my own business. I had been incorporated. And the tricky thing about that is the fact that I basically had a job where I had full responsibilities and no guaranteed income. So that model didn't exactly quite fit with me either. So, it's kind of funny because I thought, well, maybe this isn't for me. I could go back and apply for some jobs. And the funny story, I'd be in an interview and I just have this deja vu, and the sweats of going back to the grind again. And I'd say, I'm sorry, this is not the opportunity for me. And I'd walk out of an interview. So you walk out, nothing to go to. But you know what? If you're resourceful, you start looking, you look at other business models. And that's when I came across the network marketing, or called the MLM, but I've got even a better name for it. And that name is a residual income industry, because you can work with a team and make unlimited income that you want, have the flexibility to do business around the world. But it takes skills. You've got to learn those skills. And that's what I was willing to do, and I was willing to take the action. But think about also too, a lot of people are becoming entrepreneurs, and you're going to see the trends. You're going to hear about a new service, a new company, GotBackUp. And we're going to walk you through that opportunity. But let's take a look at some of the trends that are happening. So as I mentioned, entrepreneurship, people are really not certain that their jobs are going to be around. And let's take, for example, okay, everybody in the world probably knows Elon Musk, one of the billionaires of the business magnate around the world. And he bought over and acquired Twitter. I'm sure people are familiar with Twitter. He paid over $44 billion for that company. But guess what? By April of this year, he had basically laid off 6,000 people. That's 80% of the corporation, the people that were working. And, you take a look at Amazon, okay, through the pandemic, they shot through the roof. Why? Because everything was moving e-commerce. And but they laid off this year 9,000 employees. Okay, a lot of people aren't even aware of that, but 9,000 employees. And last year, even in the fall, they laid off 18,000 people. So people are realizing that the jobs are not safe. The tech boom started in the 1990s, went really fast to the 2000s, and people are not feeling comfortable with the fact that their jobs are going to be around. And so they're becoming more entrepreneur. But what happened is that the entrepreneurs is that the world is starting to become more digital. And, we saw that over the pandemic. And that is fueling the opportunity for entrepreneurs to basically do their business. What do I mean by that? Okay, look at Uber. All right, so Uber is an app. It doesn't own any infrastructure. So people are basically becoming, taxi drivers and using the app to get paid and do the business and get contract work. Airbnb renting out their place, no infrastructure, but they're able to use an app and people are basically renting out their homes and making extra income. This is the entrepreneurial world. Instacart, okay? Instacart is basically somebody going around using an app and getting your groceries for you. So the digital world is actually fueling more people to become entrepreneurs. And not only that, but when we say digital, people kind of just really get a little nervous about that. But digital has been happening for a long time. And I'll give you an example of that. I worked in the bank, okay? I worked in the financial institutions. And in the year 2000, the company started to go more imaging. That's digital, okay? Moving paper files over into a computer is moving towards a digital. And the reason why they did that is because they want to protect their data in files and in tons of paper files in a room. That is not safe. And they found that out because there were some disgruntled people that were actually throwing documents into the garbage. Okay. And at a time when the stock market was going all crazy, the company took a big hit because financial advisors wanted that trade and that trade price. Not only that, but as we started to move more digital, there was a fire. Okay, a fire happened in the room, little sprinklers came on, but I was in my office and all of a sudden I saw this billowing huge fire that was headed towards my office. And of course I ran out the door. But the reason why companies were moving is because they wanted to protect their data. Okay, and that was happening 2 decades ago. So, we think of it as more digital, but what was happening is that companies were moving from basically paper files onto a computer owned by the bank or the financial institution. Okay, so, and that was centralized. I was in Toronto, that was centralized in Montreal. So when we think of digital, we get a little nervous at it, but it's been going on for a long time, ever since the tech boom started. Now the e-commerce boom, huge. People are buying online. That is becoming norm to buy online, to buy everything. And Amazon with the fast shipping and changing the behavior of people. When you buy now, I don't even feel like going to a store anymore because the behavior has changed. Any company that was not on the website through the pandemic really suffered. And so now they're moving at rapid rates to go online to be able for people to purchase. And also too, it reduced a lot of the cost, right? So as a reduction of cost, that helps with the profitability of the company. So e-commerce is a huge boom. And what's also fueling the cell phone traffic, of course, is because people are using their phones more. They are communicating worldwide. WhatsApp is a great example of that, where you no longer have to pay to buy the little cards to be able to communicate internationally. You can use a free WhatsApp application and to be able to communicate. So this is what's happening right now, where the cell phone traffic is becoming increasingly more and more people are using their phones to do their business, to be able to communicate, to check anything, their social media, etc. So the conversion to the digital system is happening at a rapid rate. And GotBackUp is a company that basically is a subsidiary of the parent company called GVO. And that is Global Virtual Opportunities. And that is owned by Joel Tarrant. He is 27 years in business. $290 million in sales. And he's an incredible founder. He's a very brilliant man. He has basically, he's also, as you can see, very fit, healthy mind, healthy body. But he also is, he's been in this space for a very long time. So in the past, 2 decades, he's actually been in the internet software development space. And he was really, before even GoDaddy or the domain registrations, he had his own company with that. Even before Zoom, he had hotconference.com, and that still exists today. So he's a brilliant entrepreneur. He's also an extremely good marketer. And that's where you can see in GotBackUp, in the business, is that marketing brilliance that is coming through. And his saying, be proud of yourself for how far you've come and never stop pushing to be the best that you can be. And that's why I made that transition from the corporate world, because it just was not good enough for me. My story was not going to end that way. And so he's very transparent. If you're on the live webinars, you're going to see that he's a very transparent man. The head office is now owned in Schwartz, Texas in USA, because they needed a much bigger facility. They did start in Gatineau, Quebec, French Canadian, in 1997. And now what they have is a 10,000 square foot data center that is located in Texas. And keep in mind with technology is that because servers are becoming more stronger and powerful, they don't need as much space. What does that mean? That means more profitability of the company. But the great thing about our company is that those extra profits go back to us and not necessarily and doesn't go back to a shareholder as a big company would. So here is the GVO. And that's the Global Virtual Opportunity. So a brilliant man, a brilliant company. And what happened is that in April of 2023, this company started. And now it's in 106 companies. Why? Because it's digital and it can move very quickly around the world. It's not like a product-based company where you have to worry about, entering new companies, or countries, the regulations. It's internet marketing, and it can basically, move at the speed digitally around the world. And that's exactly what it's doing. So, it is a pioneer. And that's when I say it. When I started the meeting, I said, this is a ground floor. It's an opportunity. It's something that has never been done before. And it hasn't. Okay. It hasn't been done before because there's never been a company that has offered the service, the cloud data storage service, and been able to, and paying back 75% of its company products back to people, much similar to an affiliate program. An affiliate program, I'm sure you're very familiar with the affiliate programs that are maybe offered through Amazon or, ClickBank but the thing is that the difference, and you're going to see in the compensation plan, is that there's not a lot of high-level requirements that are really almost impossible to be able to get some income, and then you wait for a long time. So that's not what was of interest to me. So here we have a revolutionary product, and that is basically cloud storage. It's not new, okay, because Apple, Google, Dropbox are doing it. But what is new is the fact that instead of the company keeping their profits and becoming more profitable and handing that, basically a share price, it is now given back to us in the form of sharing this to other people. So you're going to see massive growth in this industry. The cloud computing market size is it's valued as of 2022 of $569 billion. That means that the big giants in this industry, the Apples, the Googles, the Dropbox of the world, they are basically charging you as a consumer to get more space on your phone, on your desktop, to be able to save data and to be able so that you can free up, so you can take more pictures, you can have more conversations, more videos, and that sort of thing. And that is what is happening right now in terms of cloud storage. And 2023, you've got a 677 billion. But look at this, okay? And this is what you've got to see is the opportunity of cloud data storage is going up to 2,432 billion by 2030. Why? because everybody's on their phone, everybody's on their computers, their laptops, and corporations now are requiring those documents digitally. So even when the pandemic ended, you had to, if you wanted to fly, you had to show your phone and you had to show your vaccine documents in order to get back into your own country. Okay, so people have to store documents and companies are requiring those digital documents to do it. And so that's why this industry is becoming absolutely massive. And cloud adoption could generate $3 trillion, okay, $3 trillion by 2030. So this is never been before done. When the internet started in the 1990s, you know, I thought, where is this internet going? It was new. I was doing some deals with Yahoo at the time, and I missed it. I missed the stocks that just went from bottom right, shot right up, $100, $200 stocks in this in the internet world. And I thought, this time when I was introduced to this, and this is, it's only, you know, started in April with this new service has been implemented and subsidiary has been initiated by a 27-year-old company. I jumped on because it is just an absolute no-brainer. Okay, so let's take a look at the global cloud computing market. So in 2022, you've got USD billions of dollars, 546 in 2022. That is what this industry is worth. That means with the big players like Apple, Google, and Dropbox, they are splitting 546 US billion dollars that you and I are paying these companies to be able to get more storage, because they give you a little bit free. And then when you want, you either delete the files or you have to buy more storage space. And people now are getting a lot of emails. I used to get a lot of emails to say, okay, you're running close to storage. Guess what? For $1.29, I'm going to give you 50 gigabytes. That is what is happening. So people are understanding what data storage is. And I'll explain what cloud means, because it's a very simple concept. But look in 2023, okay, so here we have 633 US billion. So we're starting, right? Take a look at this. We're starting to do it. People are kind of, you know, you want it when people are kind of giving you the look like, well, you know, you don't want it when it's up here, when it's a, you know, it's a common thing, when you're seeing the advertising is common to get more cloud storage. That is not when you want to jump in the game. You want to jump in the game now, when this curve is starting to increase and like exponential growth, okay, by 2032, which is not far off. Okay, so that's the importance of it. So the most used cloud storage, who is it? It's Google Drive, okay? And we know how big Google is. Dropbox, 62%, and OneDrive and iCloud, Apple. Okay, so these are the players that are in the industry, all right? Now, they charge us for more storage space. That's what they do. But I don't get a check. If I refer and say, look at, you can get Apple for so much, you know, storage for this, I'm not going to get a check in the mail. I am basically referring it. Dropbox has basically, they have 700 million users, and the way they got more market share is because they offered a few extra gigabytes free, not money, a few extra services, gigabytes to be able to use. All right, so this is really the industry and the players that are in this industry right now, and we are upsetting this market. Why? Because we offer much better value that you're going to see next, and not only better value, but you're also going to see the same level of security and technology that is offered here. But the big difference is that money is going back into your pocket for sharing this with people. And it's very, very easy to share because there's a lot of training and everything to happen to learn. So mobile traffic domination, okay? What is happening? According to the GSMA, real time, that's a real-time intelligence data. There's now over 11 billion mobile connections worldwide, and the current population is only 8 billion. So what does that mean? That means that people have 2 and 3 phones. And, you know, because they're backing up with other phones if their storage gets full, if it gets dropped. So, you know, that's massive. The percentage of global traffic, look at in 2011, you had 6%. Look how fast that moved. In 5 years, you went from 6 to 44. That's a huge increase of people. And then, you know, you basically got 60% of the population. Now that's going to continue to grow. More people are going to be on their phones. More and more people are going to, you know, want to, as other countries or as population changes, you're going to have more people that are going to have a phone. But 60% right now of people are using phones. And the data that's stored on those phones are really important, right? I mean, I have a lot of contacts right now on my phone. You can check the numbers, or I have over 4,000 contacts. That's my business. If I lose my phone and my data on, you know, my data on my phone, that's a lot of money going down the drain that I can't reach out to any of those contacts anymore. They're gone. Even the files that are on my phone or my, you know, even the desktop, right? It's because we're in that world where we're using our phones a lot. So storing your data on a cloud system provides that added layer of protection, okay, from hackers, from data loss. And if you're running a small business, and anybody that is doing the residual income industry or any other industry, it's particularly vital to make sure that you have some protection on your phone. 43% of cyber attacks are targeted small businesses. Okay, so it's really important also to have the high level of security. So how much do you love your cell phones? Well, I love mine a lot. I've got a great relationship with it. I love my music. I love my videos. A lot of time on social media. I mean, I have to stop the scroll. I have to just, you know, just limit myself to time and browsing. It's becoming that we are so addicted to our phones right now. And here's a few statistics that are very interesting. You know, 87%, one of the highest statistics of people leave it uneasy, you know, leaving their phone at home. Okay, so I feel uneasy if I'm at home and I can't even find my phone. So, you know, that is our lifeline, you know, is basically on our phones. 75% of people feel that they're addicted to their phones, and, you know, 65% that they check their phones 160 times a day. Well, if you're up for, say, 12 hours, that's about every 10 minutes. Okay, so that's a lot. So you know, but if you're running a business and, you know, you need to have access to that phone, it's important to be able to, you know, to have your phone around on it. You know, you can see some other statistics that they have, use it in the 73% in the washroom. You know, 60% of people upgraded their phones. Like the Android 13 is coming out actually this month. The iPhone is coming out in September, you know, the 15. It changes every year, technology. So people are upgrading their phones. They want more data space. They want better resolution on their pictures. It is a cell phone addiction, unfortunately. So what is cloud storage? Well, if you remember when I started the presentation, I mentioned to you that the bank moved their files from those paper files that were in a storage room, and they moved it to imaging, and they moved it on to basically a server, you know, a computer. But it was their computer. So it was owned basically by the financial institution, centralized in a remote location, okay, and it had the proper protocols and the security and the you know, everything that has to go into the facility to protect like the servers, okay, from electrical, from fire, from you know, cooling systems, from security of getting in and that sort of thing. So what this is, though, is that instead of one institution, basically a financial institution having one server, we call it a cloud. And what that cloud means is that you and I and everybody that has their cell phone and digital is able to store data into what they call a cloud. Okay, and if I take an analogy of, if you look at a community garden, it's the same concept, right? The community garden means that you're all kind of planting your little food crops or whatever. It's being managed by a central person, a central space, but you're all sharing that in that location, okay? And this is a community data storage, if you will, but they call it a cloud, okay? And that is simply the word for a bunch of people being able to store their data in one centralized location altogether. So I hope that makes sense, because sometimes it's intimidating to think of cloud storage. Well, it's not. It's basically your individual, instead of having your own personal server in your location, we now have a centralized location where multiple people can actually store their documents. And that's where Apple and Google and Dropbox have this different servers around the world. Okay, so cloud storage basically saves your data. Okay, so even if one of the data centers collapses, your data can be managed by other centers. So it can basically pass to another server. So your data is safe and it's supervised. So in case that it's collapsed or it's destroyed, your data is not going to be lost. It's very unlikely that this is going to be happening, because you have a lot of protection. There's a lot of protocols. There's a lot of regulations around cloud storage, but this is what's happening. So in 2027, cloud is going to be the pervasive style of computing. That means that, people are going, it's just going to be a very common thing for cloud computing to store data into the cloud. And people right now, when it's becoming, when it's in its infancy, as I mentioned, $622 billion, it's in its infancy. But that's when you want to get involved in an opportunity, not when it's $2,000 billion industry. Okay, this is when you want to be involved in the company. And, when we think of data, it is so important. Who do you know that has a cell phone or laptop? That's your target market, people that are entrepreneurial, that are willing to share information. And, even if you're not entrepreneurial, learn the skill, just learn how to share information. We do it all the time, but we don't think of it. Like, we will not think about sharing a great movie that we have, or a great TV program that we have. The good dinner that you had, a good bottle of wine that you had. Okay, so we don't think of that, but all of a sudden, when we have a business, we kind of go like starry-eyed. So have you ever lost your cell phone, or known of someone that lost their data or sensitive information? There's many people, and what I say is that if you're not, if you're having a tough time chatting to people, just initiate a conversation, as we do every single day. We talk to a lot of people, and probe, get some information, ask them how they're protecting their data on their phone, because it's a common thing. Everybody has phones, everybody runs out of storage space. Ask them, have you ever dropped your phone? Oh yeah, I've had it. Great. What kind of, are you on a plan? Do you use a storage? Oh yeah. They keep on adding prices and values. So you get into a conversation with people. So it's not about selling, it's about building a relationship and having a conversation. And if you get that, you're going to be very successful. So amazing, 45% of cell phones have accidentally damaged their cell phone or lost their data. I've seen phones so cracked sometimes, and that's because they don't want to throw it out or change, because their data is on there. And sometimes the transfer of data can be difficult when you're just moving from phone to phone, right? So, so that they can't even see through it. So definitely a lot of people I have dropped my phone, I don't know how many times, and good thing that there's a cover on it. So over 5,700 screens are cracked every single hour. Okay, and that's because you have so many phones in this world, and stolen over 43, every 43 seconds, you've got a laptop or a cell phone. And I use this example. I was in a coffee shop. I went to pay. I put my phone down, and, I just moved over to put some stuff in my coffee, and realized I didn't have my phone. And I went back, and the phone was gone. Okay, it couldn't have been 2 minutes. The phone was gone. because people know the value of what's inside of the phone, and that's what you have to get. And it's really important. The more and more I get into this, more I realize how so important protecting your data is. And you're going to find more and more people are going to really understand that. So GotBackUp is, the company. It was launched in April 2023 with the revolutionary service that is on the rise, that the big giants are doing already, okay? And it's got 256-bit patented military-grade encryption security. That is the top level of security that you can get. It's the gold standard. It's, indestructible. It is what banks, military, governments use. Google, Apple, like these are using the 250. You cannot get higher level of security. So that's what your data is being protected by. But the value is where you're going to see the huge difference. So you've got a revolutionary service that is really starting to begin as the internet did. And but you've got an incredible value for, a personal account. So if somebody just wants to be a customer, or people want to be in the business and also have a family plan. So you ask anybody, just even conversation about people that have, the husband or wife that had their phone, their kids have the phone. Even I heard a story of, a 5-year-old, and young kids having phones because they do FaceTime with their parents, if they're in school, whatever. So, that is the reality of what's happening right now. So what has GotBackUp offers is tremendous value that you cannot get anywhere else. You're going to get a service that basically is the same level of encryption, but the difference is you're going to get huge value for that. And iCloud $9.99 for 2 terabytes. Now, 2 terabytes is basically 1 terabyte is basically 1,000 gigabytes of space. Okay, so you look at iCloud, Dropbox, all offering $9.99, and this one has 1 user. You've got 6 users. So what we can offer in GotBackUp, and this is why we are actually getting business and market share from the giants, is because we offer a value that they can't compete with, okay? And on top of that, an opportunity to make money. So for $9.97 a month, you are getting a family plan of 6 personal accounts. Now you can share those accounts. They have a separate username and password that you can share anywhere in the world that you want. They can go into the cloud and get the information. It's confidential. They can protect that. And you've got the backup. You have 24/7 priority support. So the support is incredible. And it's very easy to assign and manage each of these devices. And so this is what we can offer. And it's a great way to basically talk to people about their value, because who would not want to get that level of data storage, okay, for that price for 6 accounts for $9.97. Okay, so you're looking at here 2 terabytes, 6 terabytes, 6 users, right? 6 users the same. And you can also get a better value if you decide, well, I want to pay for the yearly subscription. But none of these companies are giving you money back for referring it. Maybe a few extra gigabytes, but sorry, I'll take the money. All right, so the best data and cloud storage service, because what you can do, it's secure, it's reliable, it's automatic cloud backup. So that means that basically when you have information that enters your computer or your phone, it's automatically synced up to the cloud. So if you lost your phone the second after that, you would have that data that you just had already stored. All right, so you can sync multiple computers together. There's no file type restriction, like JPEG or doc or whatever. There's no file restriction type on that. You can stream music, videos, and that's important because look at the way businesses now have to operate on social media. They are, videos are really where you're going to get the traction in your business on social media. Videos take a lot of space, and I don't know if you've ever done TikTok before, but TikTok takes a huge amount of space, and you'll find that if you use it and you are not clearing your space, you will constantly be out of space. But TikTok is a great forum for generating business. Multiple data centers. So the company is not just, they have remote data centers in strategic locations, so that if one server goes down, then your data is protected by a backup server. And they have offices in Ukraine and in India. And of course, because of the situation in Ukraine, those have been, basically put in different other parts of the world. And so you have file versioning. File versioning is basically that you can revert back to your original file. So if you made some changes, you could go back to the previous changes. And that's good because, you don't want to have to rewrite your document. Restore deleted files. You don't want to, sometimes we delete things and it's like, oh, okay, we don't want to recreate it. So you can restore your files. So you've got the 997, 6 terabytes of 6 users, the best value that you can find. It's secure, it's backed up, and it protects your entire family's data. And so just in terms of the storage size, you have 1 terabyte is equal to 1,000 gigabytes. Okay, and that means something because a lot of times you're going to see that we're going to, other big companies are going to offer you 50 gigabytes, okay, for $1.29 a month or whatever. So, and then you've got 1 million megabytes, okay, is what 1 terabyte is equal to. But the important thing is understanding that you've got huge value. You've got 11 billion customers. Basically, we protect our outside of our phones, okay? That is something that we do. But what are we doing to protect the inside of the phone? We've already seen that our, the data that we have inside our phones, the contacts, is our business. The files, the videos that we've shot to be able to build our business is important. Those are money-making activities that we do not want to lose. And the thing is, it's automatic sync, so set and forget, and that's what you want. You do have the option to turn that off if you want, but basically it is a set and forget. Is what I do, so that anything that is loaded is automatically saved. So you can access your phones, your documents and data from anywhere in the world. Okay, and that's important because, you want to be able to, there was a testimony of a gentleman that he was vacationing in the south of France. He had his his house robbed in the United States, and all his computers were stolen. So if he was not able to go into the cloud from a computer in the south of France, he would had to have cut his vacation short, and he would have not had access to his critical financial money that he needed for his vacation. So military grade encryption, 10,000 square foot data center. So I think I'm hoping you're understanding the importance of what is actually in your phone and how important it is to store that data. And sometimes people say, well, I'd love to talk to a person because I like to understand where they're at in terms of cloud storage. And it's a great way to talk to people, because they will tell you the value, or they will share their frustrations or whatever. And that is a great way for you to introduce, what we have. So 700 million Dropbox users worldwide. And what's happening right now, I was on a live webinar today, and what's happening is that the help desk is actually getting requests to move the service from Dropbox into GotBackUp. And so we are taking that market share, and what they are working on is an app so that with the click of a button, you're able to transfer data from Dropbox to clouds, to GotBackUp. And that is huge, to be able to transfer. Why are people? Because they get much better value. They've got the same storage capacity, same level of encryption and technology, but guess what? They can make unlimited income. So people want that. They just haven't had options, right? So the sky is the limit. Whatever you want, you can talk to as many people and use the same sort of strategies every time that you talk to it. And it doesn't take long for you to really understand how much people need and how frustrated they are with the situation. So completely lifetime ground floor. And that's why when I understood how big this market is getting, and the fact that nobody is doing it in this space, in the ML space, we are the first ones doing it. It is so important to be able to dive in and take advantage of this opportunity. It is such a low price to get into this business, and to be able to get this service. You know, where are you here? Like, I had wonderful, great dreams, you know, or dreams of what I wanted for my life. But guess what? Reality hits. There's emergencies that happen. You know, you just don't get the financial, you know, leeway that sometimes that you want to achieve the things that you want. And it's really important, the vehicles that you, the time you're spending on those vehicles to get what you want. And I finally realized that this is the easiest business. And I've been through business, I've been through all the business models, been through the corporates, sole proprietor, corporations, MLM. This is the easiest business that I have ever done in my entire life. Okay, why? Is because technology is opening up the doors for this kind of opportunity to exist. And GotBackUp, with the parent company GVO, is getting an opportunity for you and I to share this great service that big giants are doing, but the ability for people to make money. And there is not one person that is not wanting to make more money. Because you can do a lot of things with it. You can get your dream. I have a lot of dreams of giving back to the community. There are so many charities that I want to give to, and it just has not been possible. And I look forward to actually finally getting to that dream in reality. So let's cover quickly the ways to earn income. You can also go into more detail. We're also going to be setting up a great training for tomorrow, Saturday, but 3 ways to earn income and paying residual commissions for as long as you want to do the business. Okay. So you are making unlimited. You can talk to as many people as you want. There is no absolute cap to say, okay, after 100 people, you're not going to get paid. And a lot of affiliate programs, okay, do that, where they basically have a cap on the number of people that you can actually refer. Unlimited depth in the power line, meaning that what happens is that if those people also go out and talk to a person, you can have an unlimited number of people to do that. They pay 200% direct commissions on month 1, and that's to help you get started in the business. That's to drive, that's to really change your behavior of getting out there and talking to people. And it's a great incentive to do that. 25% direct commissions after month 1. So you're getting 200 initially, and then thereafter, you're bringing people into the business at 25%. If they bring people into the business, you're making 25% of a matching check of their income. Okay, so it gets really exciting. So here's a diagram of it. Unlimited number of people. In the first month, you're making 200% commission. Okay. And those are people that you talk to and they want to come into the business. So let's do an example of that. So in week 1, the minimum amount to start the business is $49.97. And that is basically $40, where you're actually getting the licensing fee, if you will, to be able to use the system, to get the training, to start your business. I have paid a lot more than $40 to start a business. I can tell you that. $40 isn't even a dinner for one person. Okay, so $40 to start with, and then you have the service of $9.97 a month, or if you want to get the yearly account. So let's say round it up to $50. In the first month, you are earning $25 on that first person that decides that they're going to join. That's 50%. Okay, that's unheard of in terms of the businesses. Businesses don't pay that out. $45 that you're earning. If somebody decides, no, I want the yearly subscription, I'm not really a monthly subscription, I don't like that, I don't like the hassle of it. There's you're getting $45, okay, and somebody signs up for the yearly commission. 25% on all back office upgrades. As I mentioned, that Joel is a very smart and brilliant marketer, so he has built some marketing tools where you get the free version and then you can upgrade. So you're getting 25% on that. So if you take a look and you're enrolled 10 members, now, as I mentioned, I've got 4,000 people on my phone. Most people have contacts of 200 people. If you start making a list, you could probably figure that out. Okay, so you enroll 10 members, you're making $25, that's $250 US. The US exchange rate right now today in Canada is 1.34, okay? So the exchange rate is huge. It's a great added bonus. And that's the same for most of the countries. The US dollar is very strong right now. You enroll 50 members and you're making $1,250 on that. 50 members, okay? So, you know, if you really want to go strong in it, you have a lot of connections, you can make that happen. But that doesn't stop there, okay? So you've got, that is just the initial of the bonus of the 200% commission. So you have the unlimited, you know, then month 2, you're basically making 25% out of whatever they purchase, whether it's they want the upgrades, whether, you know, they want the yearly subscription or the monthly, you're still getting 25% of that. And you're also getting 25% of the income with the next person that they bring into the business, okay? So if you look at the matching check, say for instance, you have $1,500, okay? So if that, your total sales made by your direct referrals, so that means that if they made $1,500, you're gonna collect 25% of that monthly. And if it doesn't quite make sense to you, you can go through that, walk through some strategies with the person that brought you into the webinar. So if you're making a monthly commission of $1,000, then you're making the 25% matching check on that, and that's $1,375. Okay, so that is, you know, if you compare that to your job right now, and for simply sharing, you know, the opportunity with people and for a much better value, you know, it's not difficult work. So you sponsor one person who earns basically $100, you're getting a $25 matching check. That one person who, so you sponsor one person who earns $1,000, not $100, but $1,000, you're going to earn $250 a week. You sponsor 10 people who in turn make $1,000, you're getting $2,500. Sponsor 50 people who earn $1,000 and you're getting $50,000 a month. And you know, I saw some of the testimonies. I'm like, no way, this can't be real, you know. But then I take a look in the leaderboard in the back office, and that is exactly it. It's just that people have a lot of connections, and they're making the money. They just started a little bit earlier, you know, collecting more contacts. The third way you make income is the binary commission. It's 25% of the company profits. And how that works is really a binary. You have a power leg and you have a pay leg. Okay, and you've got to remain active. That's like anything. If you don't, you know, keep your phone subscription, or you don't get the service, you don't pay for your cable or your phone, your TV, you don't get the service. So you've got to be active. You invite others to join the team. You just simply share the link, you evaluate, you've got support with people that can help you, you know, for people to get into the business, and you earn team commissions. So there's 2 legs that you have in the binary. And what happens is that the company pays based on cycles, okay, the cycle of 6. So those people that we just saw, and so 4 people on the left, 2 on the right, and it could be vice versa, or and then based on the profitability of the company. Now you could be here and you could have these people that brought into the business, okay, and that is a direct referral. And an indirect basically person is somebody that you that they brought into the business. Okay, so you didn't personally, but you are going to benefit from the people that are all in your organization. And that's what gets really exciting, okay, because the team commissions, as I mentioned, are based on cycles. So on one leg you have to have 4 people, and the other you have to have 2, and sometimes it can switch, so it doesn't have to be right or left, but that constitutes a cycle. And what the company is paying out is anywhere between $7 and $10 per cycle. At the end of the month, they calculate it and they pay you the following Friday in US dollars into your bank account, okay? Or a Payoneer card, depending on what you want. Last month in July, it was $9.55, okay? So you can add up the numbers based on the cycles. Now, here what we have in our back office is we've got the leaderboard, and it's great because you can see how you're actually moving up the ladder. And you know, I went up 3 in in less than a month. I went up to 3 ranks because I'm just so excited about this opportunity to be able to share it with others. But you know, some of the testimonies that I saw were earning 300,000 in 4 months. Okay, because they were connected, they have systems, and they were able to multiply and get more people looking at the information. It's as simple as that. And now they're moving into these these elite diamond levels, that, you know, elite diamond tier, 750,000, and they are going to break that. You know, at $1 million club, people are going to break that in a 6-month period. Okay. And that is available to all of us if we really want to work hard and we really want to learn how to really multiply, you know, as fast as possible. So support. Okay. And that's really important. You want transparency in a company, and they have live webinars where you actually see, you know, all the people that are joining the company and supporting. You have personalized referral links. As I mentioned, he's a marketing guru, so you have personalized referral links that you can send your link to webinars. You can send your link to people, so they actually come in under your name. Okay, personalized landing pages. That means that they have scripts that are already completed. You can build campaigns, broadcast, email marketing system, a lot of marketing tools. And that's a big thing, because if you have the tools to be able to do your business, it makes it a lot easier. And online presentations, like we have this every day. We've got training tomorrow. The company, the corporate, has an orientation on Monday. They've got, you know, recruiting on Thursdays. They've got, you know, meetings all through the week. Okay, so there is no lack. Everything is built online. There's videos. Everything is built online for you. Okay, so how do you get started? You take the free tour, okay, and you're going to see the incredible you know, the highest level of security for your documents. You can get started by building your team by pre-enrolling into the system. A product that everyone needs. I'm sure that you see that this is a product that absolutely everybody needs. Okay, there is no, people need this service, and I hope that you understand that from the information that I've just, you know, indicated to you today. Compensation plan, very generous, the only company that is actually doing it in this space, and life-changing results, right? So we pay weekly, okay, and that weekly is by direct deposit or credit card. It takes, you know, there's a little bit of a wait time to get started, but you're paying by direct deposit and by a credit card. Okay. And so how to register, as I mentioned, it's a major credit card. So you get $40 and then $9.97 that you're choosing for a monthly subscription. That is it to start your business, to get a link, to get going. I made my money back in the next day. Excuse me, what's that? Sorry, I had to plug in there. Okay, so as customers, you do have the option of having that personal account, but as a person in the business, it is a family plan. It's the best value, so you can still go at $9.97 with all the value I mentioned, plus a yearly of $9.97. If you want to actually pay for the subscription, so you don't have to do that. Okay, in countries where they don't have necessarily, some people do not have the credit cards, you can check Eversend as a virtual card that you can use in Ghana and Kenya and Nigeria, Uganda. But you can just Google virtual cards, and what you can do is load it up like you do a debit MasterCard. Okay, and then you'll be able to pay for that and start. Okay, so that is what we have to offer, and I'm hoping that you're seeing the value of it. But I just want to quickly go through that. When you start into the business, you automatically are getting into, this is your website. Okay, so if you want to go into the back office, you're going to be logging in, and I'm only going to take a few minutes to go through this, because I think it's really important for you to see how absolutely simple and the tools that it is to do your business. Okay, we'll only take 5 minutes if you don't mind me kind of going through that with you. So we're in the back office. You can see the rank that you're at. Okay, you've got the live support. So what happens is that you can basically do a live chat, and a pop-up button will happen, or you can submit a ticket, go back to your members area. The digital tools, you've got all the installation videos. Okay, so a lot of times it doesn't come with installation. You know, if you're going to install something, there's not that information for you. But what you have is the videos. If you've got a Mac computer, if you go down to the bottom, you're going to see the iPhone application, how to get started, retrieve data. I mean, they have built everything into the system. Same with Windows. You click, if you have, instead of a Mac, you've got Windows, you've got the installation videos for that. And then you can scroll down and you've got the Android app, how to get started, retrieving data, all frequently asked questions. The great thing too is that what you have here, that you can select languages. Okay, so any language right now is that it is available in terms of not necessarily the videos, but enough for people to understand it. But what they are doing is they are getting a lot of different versions. They're working on the French version right now of completely changing the whole website to that. And they will eventually do that with Spanish and the other languages. But for now, they are going to have different people in different countries that are actually going to be doing corporate presentations in their language. Okay, so those are your videos in terms of how easy it is to get started. And then what you have also too is a lead capture system. So this is the free marketing system. You can get an upgraded version of that. If you want to, if you have some emails that you want to put into the system, you can do that. But this is how simple it is, where you can create campaigns, you can get your email analytics, you can get the script, and copy is a big thing. Copy is basically your marketing verbiage that you need, and it's all created in newsletters templates. You just kind of plug in, maybe if you put your picture or your contact information. So it's very easy to do. Then you have your business, you've got the commission overview, and you can pull up a PDF version of that. The actual, how you paid it out. Okay, the stats of when I started in July. Okay, so you're going to get the payout history. You're going to be able to, see my commissions, and this changes on a daily basis. Why? Because there are people that are constantly bringing other people into the business. Okay, so the speed of this is pretty good. And then you also are able to search on the dates to know how much that you're actually getting paid, and the matching check bonuses. And this matching check is going to continue on because people have monthly subscriptions. So you're still getting 25% of that monthly of $9.97. Okay. And so you can see your actual downline. You can see how it's actually building. So this is your downline. You can show your full downline that's actually growing, and every Wednesday is cut off, so people actually move into the organization. And you can see, from the left to the right side, how many people that you've got in your organization, and it's not long. It's just constantly actually builds. Okay, live webinars. So this is really important, and this is where you can get a link, so you can take your link. It will tell you the orientation is on Monday night, and what you can do is get your link here. Okay, so this is my link right there. I'm going to copy that, and I can paste it onto my WhatsApp. I can paste it onto emails, and that means that when you invite anybody, they're going to be tied to you. So if you put it into social media, you may not know them, but you put into that link into social media, they join a webinar, that sale is tied to you. And that's really important in business, because you're the one doing the business, and a lot of companies don't do it that way. Okay, so this is the exciting part of the leaderboard. It tells you in real time, in a reasonable time. Thing is updated every 4 hours, how many people of what they have actually earned, the top 10 monthly, so you can see how well you're doing. It motivates you, what level, like that's at a sapphire level. Okay, so these are Jerry Schroeder was the recruiter training last night that I had, the weekly sales that are generated. So it creates a lot of momentum, right? And you climb the ranks, and it tells you the value of your lifetime earnings as you're moving up. And I can tell you, within a 6-month period, we are going to see people in the $1 Million Club, and mark my words, you're going to see me on a $1 Million Club as well. business cards. So they have the marketing tools, so you can order that. Okay. So even if you're a little nervous and you don't like, you're just very uncomfortable about sharing it, leave your business card around. They will actually get your code. Okay. Your scan, your QR code for your particular website. You can put it on a business card, or what you can do is you can have 4x6 promo cards, and you can leave those around if you want. If you have strategic places that you want, very catchy sort of graphics where people are like, wow, what's this all about? And they can scan me, and that's tied to you. Okay. So I just say start, learn a little bit, and that is the easiest thing that you can do is to put your card around somewhere, right? For people to look at it. And if they're catchy graphics, people will look at the information. Okay. And then you have the marketplace. The marketplace is basically digital tools. So if you want to get additional services, then you're able to go to the marketplace and learn more about it, and to get more. If you want additional storage, if you want them to do the emails and the scripts and all the work for you, can learn more and have them do all the work. So sometimes if people are too busy, or they just are uncomfortable doing it, then if you have some emails for them, then basically what they will do is they will work your business for you. Okay. And there's a price to do that, but it is possible. Okay. And that's why he's a strong internet marketer. And then you have the frequently asked questions. So any questions that you come up with, so they get a lot in their help desk, and of course they're going to create a frequently asked questions section for that. And of course, on any of the webinars, if you have questions, the orientation, that the live support, as I mentioned, is 24/7. And that is the website. That is to learn your business. I did it in less than like 5 minutes. Okay. So this is what you've got. And I hope that you're catching the value of how incredibly amazing that this business opportunity is. We work hard, we work really hard. Anybody that is working in, trades, or, that are working outside in the summertime in 104-degree weather, or you're going to the corporation, you're working 24/7 around the clock as an executive, or, manufacturing plants or whatever. People work hard. This is about having a system that's in place with a value that nobody can touch, with easy ways to share your link, share information that you have. And so I encourage you to embrace this opportunity. There isn't anything that I want to do more than this, because I know that there's always a window for every opportunity. There is, right? Things change, and things happen, as we've seen in the last 2 to 3 years, major things. And something, the variant, going through the whole alphabet and variants, but what have you thought about, if there is something of that nature that happens again, how well are you protected from that? What plan do you have in place to do that? Okay. And I'm being completely serious about it. This is the easiest business that you will ever do. Why? Because the world is moving digitally, and you also have the opportunity to make an unlimited income that you can change your life, your family's life, generations to come. I thank you so much for being part of this webinar. I hope you can understand my passion for this opportunity. I wish everyone a great weekend. For those, we will be posting the training so that you can get started and you can really understand how to do your business very easily, and to get started right away. So thank you for joining. I don't know if there's anybody that wants to say a few words. Dr. Jalan, are you open? Is there anybody that wants to say a few words about the presentation today, about what you're experiencing right now in your business, giving people a bit of opportunity to really to catch the vision here?
Yes, madam.
Hi, Dr. Jalan. Go ahead, please.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
I'm very happy about this meeting.
My present today, I have to thank you so much, especially on the area of the back office. You concentrated so much on the back office, though it was a short time, but it has been very fruitful. you see, some of the things are too technical. So when you do such a presentation, to just open up our minds. Thank you so much for that. I know the room today, we have been so few. I expect it was just because of connection. Even myself, I failed to get connected at the beginning, but now I don't know what reason behind others, but thank you for the ones attending the room today. But I congratulate Madam for the nice presentation, particularly on the back office. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Dr. Jelana. And keep in mind that it's Friday. You know, people listen to the recording, and you know, a lot of people are working still. You know, we have the privilege and the benefit of basically being off, but a lot of people are working, and that's what we're trying to change, is to give them the lifestyle that they're really looking for. So what we find is a lot of people actually listen to the recording more, but we're on Friday afternoon, and you know, people are kicking off for the weekend or coming home. We're tired from working all week. But I appreciate everybody that's been on today, and you know, I'm sure a lot of people are going to catch up on the recording. So yeah, so thanks for saying those words. I appreciate it. And Moses, do you have something to say? Do you have a few words to share?
Oh, nothing. Just thank you. Congratulations, Madam.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being on from the Congo. Dr. Jelana is from Uganda. We've got Kim on, and she is from my neck of the woods, and that is in Canada here, very close to me. So we've got, you know, I love it because we've got a worldwide family, and we're all sharing, and we're really all growing together. And that's what's so exciting about this. So yeah, Kim, did you want to say a few words? Does this does this help you in terms of understanding a bit more about, you know, what we have to offer? Is it making a little bit more clear of you know, what you're doing, right? You know, the opportunity?
Yeah, it sounds really interesting. So I just want to learn some more, obviously, but yeah, I'm gonna sign up today though.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? And let me share this with everyone. Okay, Kim and I had a quick conversation. We touched base last night. You know, we kind of jokingly, but I'm not really joking. I said to her, you know, I found something and we want to, you know, that you can get rich on. So, but I'm serious about that, because if you're willing to put the work on, you can see that the potential is there. But, you know, I said to Kim, it's important to plug in today. And when we first started the webinar, Kim had mentioned, well, you know, I've got to do my research, and you know, should I be on this webinar? And Kim, what is the difference between what, you know, starting this webinar and then listening to this presentation? What transition did you make, if any?
I think just the opportunity, like the money involved, like it seems not real, almost like just seems like a great idea. I think I can sell it too.
What's that?
I think I can sell it too. Yeah.
You know what? We do it all the time, right? We do it all the time. And we, you know, we share information, and people can evaluate. What can they say? No, I'm not interested in a better value or making money. I mean, like, that's their answer, right? And if it's about, you know, if there's any concern about, well, security wherever, well, you know, this company is very transparent. They can take a look. They can see it. It is the 256-bit encryption. They can see the server rooms. They can see all the protocols and the regulatory bodies, and to do that, they can dig in and they can see it's very, very transparent. And I felt the same way when I looked at this opportunity, because I saw testimonies and I thought, no way, 4 months, you're making $300,000. Okay, this is one of those high level pitch type of stuff. And then I go into the back office and I see that they're gone behind the 300,000 mark. They're, you know, because they're connected, they're able to work in systems. They had, you know, like I said, we've got some tools in the back office where you can actually have the company do a lot of the work for you as well. And, you know, it is real. And you think about it. Okay, The company doesn't have the infrastructure. It has one 10,000 square foot database, but it can do business in all the countries around the world, 195 countries, you know, and, you know, the thing is, you can do it multiple places. They have servers. Servers are becoming more powerful. That means that you don't need a lot of space. What companies are struggling with right now is they have so much infrastructure. They're heavy in terms of their staffing. And that's why the affiliate program is basically an extension of your marketing arm, so that companies don't have to pay $100,000 in salespeople like they did with me. Okay, they don't have to build huge, massive infrastructures in different countries that they're doing. So what are we saying? We are able to give 75% because the company is very automated and very defined, that it has huge profitability. So they are able to give that back. Most companies that are built off the traditional model and infrastructure and sales teams and everything don't have that. And that is why when you think about a digital and the ability for a company to do that, that's the reason that they can do it. So it does actually make sense. So thank you, Kim, for your comments. I really appreciate that. And you're going to sign up today. That's your goal. Wow, look at that. I love it. I love it. So for anybody, any final comments, any questions, anything that I can answer before we wrap up today?
Will you remind when is going to be the webinar, when is going to be, at what time?
So the training I asked with Mohamed, we're going to do kind of a 2-hour training. We will record it, so the people that can only do a little bit of it is fine. That's a good question. What do you feel is the best time? Is the same time, 2 o'clock, 8 o'clock on the weekend, the best time for everybody? Because that's what we were trying to decide. So if it's the same time and this works for you, we'll go at, 2 hours. And for the people that can attend or listen to, even if you can attend a little bit, it'll be recorded so you can, break down your knowledge in terms of recording. So you want to do it at the same time tomorrow?
Yeah, really.
Okay. So the consistency is also important, and every day we have the opportunity meeting so that we can have the training on Saturday at the same time, and we are so committed to everybody's success that is good. So thank you. It will be at the same time, Dr. Joanne. Thank you for letting us. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Okay, everyone. Well, let's wrap it up. It's Friday evening for a lot of people, and we're heading into that ourselves. So I appreciate your time today, and stay blessed. And we look forward to really all of your successes. So have a great night, everyone. Bye for now.
All right.